with Scott from Pepo Farms, and they grow some things that are a bit unique for the Australian market. Scott, tell us about it.
So Pepo Farms, we're Australia's only grower of pumpkin seeds. So everything else in Australia, Glenn, is actually from a Chinese table pumpkin.
But it's such an easy thing to grow.
It is, but therein lies the problem. So table pumpkins, which is every pipita, the nutrient is in the flesh, not the seed. What we grow is the Styrian pumpkin, and it's originally from the Styria border region of Slovenia and Austria, and the nutrient is in the seed.
Wow.
The seeds are 35% protein. That's the same as chicken.
Right.
And it's the highest content of magnesium for any plant on the planet.
You're talking to a vegan here. This is all good news to me.
Just 20 grams is going to give you your daily magnesium for the day for an adult, and half the selenium and half the zinc that you need.
I think you just made a sale, by the way. So these pumpkins come from Austria and Slovenia? Originally?
Yes. So we're the only grower in Australia. And it's an heirloom variety that is grown for the seed and not for the flesh. The flesh is something that's really quite unpleasant to eat. It's 95% water. It tastes very bitter. But we grow both organically and biodynamically. Now, we haven't gone down the road of getting organic certification, but we just don't spray chemicals, and we invest in our soil. So one of the key things in our business right across the board is that we don't actually want to, or we want to make sure that we leave the soil better than we found it. So everything is sustainable. So if we are in a farm and we're there for a little while, however we finish, it must be better than we started.
So you have more than one farm?
So we've got around 50 hectares of farms here in northeast Victoria. Last year we've just gone back up into Queensland, up into the bottom of the Atherton tablelands and growing in the winter. But there's a social enterprise that we've got as well called the Artisan Mill. Now everything in the Artisan Mill, we're working with 40 local farmers to grow the entire seed and nut industry in Australia, not just our own little niche, because most seeds and nuts in Australia are imports. Over 80% of hazelnuts in Australia are imports. Walnuts, most of them are coming out of California. Now, fruit and vegetables are like seeds and nuts. If it's not fresh, there's less nutrients for us. We've got to eat them fresh.
I must admit, we have walnut tree at our place and a hazelnut tree, and I don't take the effort to harvest them. I think
it's a lot of work, isn't it?
It's a lot of work.
Yep.
And you've got to be there at the right time. So walnuts, often the birds get them because I don't get to them in time, don't cover them. So it's actually more than just growing it. You've got to manage that crop.
Yeah, you do have to manage the crop. And the other thing with the walnut, a lot of people that have got trees don't understand, is once you harvest it, you actually need to cure the nut first. And that's going to take a couple of weeks. So they've tried it from their own tree and then go, oh, you know what, it's not ripe, or I don't know what I'm doing, and it's bitter.
That's what happened to me.
Yep. Or if you get a walnut from the supermarket and it's hard, bitter, or rancid, it's old.
Yeah.
It needs to be soft and moist and creamy and it tastes delicious.
So this variety of pumpkin, is it just going to grow in the Victorian climate? Is it?
No, so we're growing it here in the Ovens Valley and in and around this area across 5 farms. But it needs really good soil, it needs hot days, but the important kicker is that it needs cold mornings. And the only way to get that is to be at the base of a mountain, because you get the cold air comes down off the mountain first thing in the morning at dawn, and then that's what's going to make the pumpkin really, really thrive.
Now you mentioned a network of farms.
Yep.
Are they all Pepo Farms, or just other people who join who want to grow nuts and seeds?
So we work with small farms across Australia, about 40 at the moment, and they are part of that social enterprise where we're working together to grow the entire seed and nut industry and to basically stop the imports of old product, keep the jobs here in Australia, let's invest in our jobs, our soil, and we get fresh produce where you're getting more nutrients out of it than if you eat something that's a few years old.
Scott, you've got me excited. Look, we grow pumpkins for food. I've never thought about growing them for seed.
Yep.
And we've got beautiful soil where I live. So, yeah, I think you've got another convert.
Yeah, awesome.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, Len. Cheers.